Hey everybody, it's Heather Nichols here, and today we're going to talk about outcreating yourself. Outcreating yourself. What is that? So, outcreating yourself is basically creating greater all the time. Recognizing that you can create greater all the time and that you can create greater than anything that you've ever created before. I was thinking about this today and how I was thinking about my podcast and how I've been doing a radio show or a podcast for many years, like probably 10 years or maybe even more. And at one point, radio show before there was even such a thing as podcast. And at one point, I had done a radio show for many years on one platform. And then I switched to another platform and I did a radio show for many years on that platform. And I had to make a choice at one point as to like whether I wanted to pay to keep the old recordings up, on those platforms. And I did for a while. And then, there was so much content because I create a lot of content. I create a lot of videos, a lot of podcasts, creating content, videos, podcasts, writing stuff. There's no shortage of that for me. It's not a challenge for me. And I just was like, I don't need to keep this stuff. Like, I don't need to pay to keep this stuff around. Like, there's so much more that I've put out since then that's so much greater than that. And it wasn't about judging any of the past content, but just the sense of like, I can always create greater. I can always create more. And I think that's one of the things that in business and in life in general, we tend to not acknowledge that there's like every day you can be greater. You can create whatever it is that you're creating in your life, whether it's you have a family or, you love to cook or you have a business or, you're doing something with your body or whatever. Anywhere that you're creating in your life and living it's like when you take what you've previously done, you're willing to let go of it, but also have the awareness and the inspiration of like what it's created for you so far and build upon it. Then you continuously outcreate yourself every day. And it's been so liberating for me to have these conversations and the tools of Joy of Business and Access Consciousness and really get that I don't have to hold on to anything. There's nothing that I've done in the past that is like my big pinnacle moment. Like now I'm moving to a new website probably in a month or so. And there's a lot of stuff in my shop that I'm going to just archive and let go of. And because I know there's going to be a million more things coming down the road. And, for you, your creative juice may show up in some other area of your life. And it can just be even in how we show up in our relationships, how we show up with ourselves. But if we ask to be greater every day, we ask to create greater every day, we ask to out-create everything that we have ever created and everything that's ever been created. That's a fun question to ask. Then it shows up. It shows up. It's like we get the awareness of what else we can add, what else we can do. There's all kinds of inspiration going on all the time in our lives if we show up in our lives with curiosity and knowing that things do get greater all the time and can get greater all the time. And that's kind of just how things work. And it really is a point of view to adopt or to, it's not about adopting my point of view, but a point of view to play with, it's like so many people are so afraid of the future and worried about the future and worried that it might, your things might diminish or whatever. And when you can just really, when you have the point of view by choice of, you know what, everything gets greater and everything can, and how can I show up every day to create that? It's amazing what can show up and how we can outcreate ourselves every day. If you let go of the past, you don't have to hold on to it. Your future can be so much greater. And there's just this like continuous movement of energy and choice that we get to play with, that for so many of us is so inspiring and way more like real and true. So I hope this was a contribution. If you would like more, there's always all kinds of creation classes going on in my world and in my shop, and a Business Done Different class coming up that's going to be online and also live in Colorado. I don't do live Business Done Different classes very often. It's been years since I've done one. And yeah, so that's a place where you get to really dive into these types of conversations, refreshing, different, pragmatic conversations and tools for how to create the business of your life and your business as very, very different and in a way that might be a lot more fun for you. So take care. Happy creating. See you next time.